Okay, so Mario, this is going to be your personal question round. So my first question for you is, what is your proudest moment?
My proudest moment in my whole life?
Yeah.
Wow, it's got to have something to do with the birth of my 3 boys, I think. Probably wouldn't be at work, so yeah, being a dad is my proudest moment, really, of all things. There's another one actually, which is work-related proud moment. I've got one quite recently. We had at the college our first school inspection, first one ever, and we did really well in that. We got 1 grades in all categories, so that was a real surprise and very proud for all of us.
Okay. And what is your most embarrassing moment?
Most embarrassing?
Your most embarrassing.
Well, horrible thoughts are coming into my mind. I'm definitely not going to tell you my most embarrassing. I'm trying to think if there's any embarrassing moments I can come up with at all that I can tell you about. I can't think of anything. I'm sorry. I'll come back to that one.
Nothing. Okay, we'll skip that one, shall we? Okay. How about what is the best job that you've ever had?
Ooh, the best job I've ever had. I actually think it's the one I've got now, because earlier on you were asking me questions about what I like about my job, and it's the freedom to be creative. So I think the best job I ever had is the one I've got right now.
And your worst?
My worst ever job? Oh, I've had some terrible jobs. Probably the worst one was working in a kitchen of a factory in Hanger Lane in West London, and that was really hard work as a student. I've also sold double glazing near Heathrow Airport. That's really hard, really hard work. I hated that in the British winter. That's the worst job I've ever had.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too much fun.
No, not much fun.
If you could have dinner with anybody, living or historical, who would you pick?
Oh yeah, it's a good dinner time question. I can invite anybody for dinner.
Anybody at all.
It would have to be a historical figure, I think. Actually, I've got an odd one here. There's an Austrian philosopher called Rudolf Steiner, who set up lots of fields, but among them alternative schools, and he came up with incredibly strange things in his writings and teachings, and I would love to quiz him on his teachings. So that would be my person, because I've got a longest list of questions to him than anyone else I can think of.
So it'd be more of an interview than a
it'd be an
dinner,
interview. I wouldn't let him get a word in. Yeah.
Okay, if you had to swap lives with anybody, who would you pick and why?
Do I have to swap forever, or is it just...
Let's say it was for a day.
For a day? Oh, okay, for a day it would be someone like Roger Federer.
For what reason?
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm a massive tennis fan.
Okay.
I love tennis, and I tell you what I would do. I'd go out and play. I wouldn't do all the celebrity stuff. I'd go and feel what it's like to have that much flow and control in tennis. So I'd be Roger Federer for a day. If I had to swap with somebody for forever, I actually wouldn't want to swap with anybody. Not even for a day. But if you forced me, I'd probably go with someone musical, because I think probably it would be a guitarist. One of my favourite guitarists is the lead guitarist from Pink Floyd, Dave Gilmour, and I just love his music, and I'd love that life, to be able to compose and play music like that. So probably Dave Gilmour. Bit of a controversial answer.
So would you say that's your favourite type of music, or have you got any other sort of music interests?
I'm a bit of an old git in my music, so I do listen to Radio 4 a lot and Classic FM a lot. And my favourite music is I do love that old kind of rock stuff. My favourite artist was probably somebody called J.J. Cale in terms of pop music. The Desert Island Disc question of which one piece of music, it would be the Emperor Concerto, which is the 5th piano concerto from Beethoven, and that is the one that gets me every time. So that's not a very trendy answer. Not
quite in the top 40 today.
Then. No.
Okay, how about your favourite film?
Favourite film? Okay, my favourite film, that's changed a bit. I've had a few. I had a the answer to this used to be Doctor Strangelove, a really weird black and white movie where Peter Sellers plays lots of movies. I still find that really, really funny. And then I have to say, as a middle-aged bloke with Mel and I have to go with that one as well. And I have really enjoyed the blockbuster movies recently. Avatar was one which I just thought was incredible. I have to sort of slight guilty secret around it. In 3D, I was totally transported watching that movie. And actually, a really guilty secret, I really enjoyed, on a flight coming home from Far East recently, a really rubbish movie called Friends with Benefits. I'm really embarrassed to admit that, but it was really entertaining. Perhaps it was the glass of champagne I'd had on the flight, but I found that very funny.
Maybe.
Have
Or
you
maybe
seen
you
it?
just liked it. Yes, I have seen it. I loved it.
Okay.
Okay, so how about your favourite actor or actress?
Ooh, favourite actor. I love watching my favourite actors are all kind of tough guys. So I love Steve McQueen and Charlie Bronson are my favourite when I was a kid growing up. I thought they were really cool. I still like kind of actiony guys. So actually, I think really underrated as actors are Brad Pitt. I think he's a brilliant actor. I love those Oceans movies. So I like Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, and George Clooney. I think they're really watchable. I really like those guys. And for women, I like female actors. We call them actresses in my day. Female actors, I really like watching Sandra Bullock. I don't know, I find her amusing. I like her in comedies. I think Meryl Streep as well is really great.
Meryl Streep's great. So I assume you get interviewed quite a lot. So if you could be asked any question, what would it be?
I get interviewed more overseas than in Britain when I work overseas. Any question?
Any question at all?
It would one that make me look really good. So it might be, okay, I've got one. What's the longest I have ever gone without being beaten at tennis? The answer of which was 10 years. I went 10 years recently without getting beaten, and that's because I play with players that aren't as good as me. That doesn't mean I'm that good, I just pick people that don't play tennis.
You're not quite Roger Federer yet then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well thank you very much for your time, Mario.
Okay, thanks.